I lead the HR vertical for Tanfeeth. Tanfeeth is a 3-year-old company, and it's a shared service for Emirates and BD Group. When we talk about Emiratization, I believe it's an ongoing agenda, be it for UAE national who's leading an important vertical like human resources, or even within the company. So it's part of the DNA of any company. Emiratization will always be there. So I won't differentiate it as an Emiratization vertical per se. It's an overall objective for the company. There are so many differences between the employees of the private sector versus the employees, let's say, of the public sector or government. The one which is really obvious is the holidays, the public holidays. We are not really aligned to the government sector. If they get 4 days, we get 2 days or 1 day. So that actually create kind of conflict between both of the, I would say, sectors, and it would urge the Emiratis to move back to public sector to get the same benefit that the rest of their colleagues and cousins are actually getting. So that's one and an obvious challenge that today we are facing in the public sector, that we are not really aligned to the holidays which everybody wants to have. See, the only way to do it is to keep them engaged, try to pay them special allowances for showing up on those days. However, the overall morale will always get affected because they'll always come back saying, well, my sister is working in so-and-so company and they're taking the full week as a holiday. Why am I here when my kids are at home, for instance, or my cousins? So that will always create a challenge, and we as HR professionals, we've learned how to deal with it, but the problem is becoming bigger every year. If we don't really reduce the gap between the private and the government sector in terms of number of the public holidays, we'll really face a challenge of retaining Emiratis going forward. Well, the whole idea is let's agree on number of days. The calendar for the public holidays is quite clear every year. In Japan, they have it already planned for the coming 10 years. So why don't we just plan it together and know in advance how many days we are going to have? If they are having 4, let's have 3 and accommodate both of the sectors to please the whole population at the end. At the end, we are all contributing toward the UAE economy. So why don't we work hands in hands rather than, okay, we are having longer holidays than you and vice versa. See, it's very simple. When we hire Emiratis, we hire fresh graduates. This is the pool that we today have available in the market. However, when I go and hire non-Emiratis, I will always look at people with minimum 5 years of experience to bring them on board. Of course, there will be a gap between a fresh Emirati joining the company and the other person, the non-national, who came in with 5 years of experience. Now, the chemistry is to ensure that they work together, to have a proper plan. To intake Emiratis and bring them up the curve. Yeah, to take them 1 year at least to come up the curve, but they should know that I have joined as a trainee, they have joined as people who actually came in from probably overseas countries and they have spent 5 to 6 years doing the same job. So the gap will be there, and the magic is how to bridge the gap. To bridge the gap is to make them understand that yes, you are here, however, as an HR leader, I'll support you all the way, you don't worry. Yes, you might make more errors than the colleague you're sitting next to, but I'll ensure that you don't do the same errors all over again because of the continuation in terms of training and development. So you ensure that that is embedded from day one. And I haven't really seen, like as far as my company is concerned, I haven't seen that as a challenge. Unless I'm hiring, let's say, fresh graduate from school, like high school leavers, yes, there will be a gap. And the gap will be clear that they actually realize it and they try to work hard on improving their skills to come up the curve. So good thing is that they are aware from day one that, okay, I have a challenge with English. Help me to improve my English language or my typing skills. I believe here the banking sectors, if we will go back and speak about private sector, the banking sectors have already, I believe, they've achieved so many achievements in terms of packaging the roles for the Emiratis. I believe the only industry where they haven't really focused in as far as the banking are concerned, probably the real estate, aviation, most of these industries, hotel and hospitality as well. You will have always to keep in your mind the culture, where we are coming for as an Emiratis, what is acceptable for families and what is not acceptable. So yeah, so banking has gone far away actually in terms of hiring Emiratis, especially females, in terms of attracting them. And most of the industries, except I believe aviation, hotel and hospitality, they still have a long way to go because the package is completely different. And again, think about the parents at home. What do they want for their children? Yeah, if you look at the ratio of fresh graduate females versus males, yes, the number of females are actually higher than the males. And we all know why are the reasons. When it comes to them joining the workforce, I would say the Emirati males would prefer certain jobs, whereas the Emirati females would prefer different set of roles. Back office, they would always love to join a company where they can sit in the back office. Males would love front office, where they can talk to customers, we can sell. Females would tend to prefer I would say, to shadow sometimes some of those guys rather than being in the front. And the trend today, as you have just spoken about, is into fashion design. So most of the females are actually moving of setting up their own companies and their own businesses, be it at home or starting like in a small kind of scale. So they've gone a long way as well, but at the end, I believe their demands are going to be different. In 5 years' time, things will actually change around how to engage them, whom to hire, and how long they are going to stay with you, because now they know exactly what do they want and for how long they are going to stick with you in this company. Speaking of the GCC, it's a must. Speaking of UAE itself, well, only Emiratis can actually take the UAE to the next level that is expected from all the rulers. So yeah, unless we work hand in hand and ensure that we develop our younger brothers and sisters, we won't be able to achieve the vision that the ruler of the UAE is looking forward to.